Today we have dogwood and cicadas. Dogwood. I don't cut dogwood for firewood very often. It's usually a small tree that is pretty and so it just doesn't end up becoming firewood. However, this one was blown over in a storm and I volunteered to help clean up the cemetery, and I got a little bit. I've stacked some in the round over here to let it dry like that. It's really moist, really wet wood. I haven't burned a lot of it, and when I have, it's always been this stuff. It hasn't been any real split wood, but I know it's good hardwood. It kind of behaves like sugar maple, and so here we go. Let's see how it splits. Got the big Mueller again. I'm just on this axe right now. It's not a super fair comparison. I suppose I could get like a splitting axe and a maul can really show you the difference, but I think this is gonna split pretty good. So I wanted to use this axe because it's fun. This stuff is really heavy. So I think it's gonna make pretty good stove wood. And it's splitting pretty good already. I think I'll be able to fill up this little spot. It's already 80 something degrees. It's a beautiful late spring morning. A little warm, a little humid. Got a lot of rain yesterday. But all in all, for May, where I am, aside from storms, it's been pretty nice. This is a pretty old dogwood. They don't get very big. One of the gravestones at the cemetery was 19th century. Not that old, but the other grave, the doctor's grave, he died in 1948, which would make this, let's say it's 24, so what, 68 years old? Is that right? No, I don't know. 48. 80, 78. No way. 72, 74. There we go. It's never scripted, you know. Just gotta figure it out. So anyway, the doctor died in 48. I'm gonna assume this dogwood was planted at some point. And it was at the foot of his grave, so some point between now and then. I can't imagine it's 74 years old. I guess it could be. There were some old graves in that cemetery, Revolutionary War soldiers. Pretty neat. And this is also, wanted to talk about the cicadas a little bit. We're in the double cicada year. And they're out. You can hear them. My dogs love to eat them, and so do the chickens. So I like them. They are a little buzzy, loud, but I'd rather hear the cicadas than the moron with the 4x4 with no muffler blasting down the road. Still trying to figure out who actually likes that. Not like the people, like, who are you? But like, what's the appeal there? Because if you're riding in the vehicle, you can't hear your music or your significant other or your pal. It's too loud, you gotta yell at each other. If you're riding down the road, maybe it's other people who have them and they're like, man, that sounds like a V8. Just like the one I got. Because otherwise, people like me just think it's awful. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I got them from cicadas. Oh yeah, cicadas, because I like the cicadas. I mean, I do kind of wish that they didn't just squirt blood, guts all over my windshield every once in a while. That's the worst part, but other than that, I don't mind them. Well, I'm glad I got this dogwood. It's splitting easy. It's going to make good stove wood. And I did a good thing by volunteering at the cemetery. I did not expect to bring any wood home. I didn't go out there with like secret ambitions of bringing home free firewood. I got too much of it as it is. But I didn't have any dogwood, and you know, it's for the channel, man. It's all for the channel. Trying to get as much different kinds of wood, as many different kinds of trees and wood as I can, without just making unnecessary, you know, videos. Like I'm splitting this again. I guess I do that some, but not really a lot of information about dogwoods that's pertinent. Some people say that the cross that Jesus was crucified on was made out of dogwood, and so that the dogwood tree is forever cursed to be a small tree. I don't know about that. I don't think they got any dogwood trees in the Middle East, but maybe they do. Maybe that's what happened. I think it probably is just filling a spot in the understory, and it has evolved to stand out by flowering. Very nice big flowers. I'm splitting this as I go because I've got a few piles that I have split and left in piles, or I just haven't split yet. I'm standing in the flotsam of the tree trimming free wood video mess that I had, and this is all just piled here for a couple months. Still not all the way cleaned up because I got these big chunks I don't know what to do with. I got the rest of it split and given most of it away because it's made a bunch of little pieces like that, which is not really marketable to sell to someone. But I know a couple people who have smaller wood stoves that appreciate a few chunky pieces. This stuff is just, sapwood is just wet to the touch. It had just rained like the day before too. The tree was not all the way out of the ground, so I don't know if it was trying to put down new roots. Make a pretty good stack. Probably have to stack some going down a ways too. It is heavy. And I don't know, you know, I heard a guy on the YouTube say, an Englishman, who said all wood produces the, let's see, how do you say it? All wood produces the same heat by weight. So there's some, I forgot, I'm not saying it right, so don't quote me, but basically 1,000 pounds of pine and 1,000 pounds of oak produce the same amount of heat. Now, if you had 1,000 pounds of pine stacked up beside said 1,000 pounds of oak, the oak pile would be much smaller. So that makes sense. Oak burns hotter and longer. So if that was applied to this dogwood, I think it would burn the hottest and the longest. However, I don't know how much of this is liquid, like sap and all that. So how, you know, like compared to like locust, what's it gonna be like when this is dried out? Is it gonna burn any hotter? Kind of got a beach grain to it too. Blonde beach. So yeah, is it gonna be any hotter, or I know dogwood is preferred by some greenwood goons for making mallets because it's absorbing properties. So it's not as hard as locust. Why don't they use, and locust gets bigger, so why not use locust? And I don't know if locust is not as available as dogwood, or if it's simply because once dogwood is dried, it is maybe not as hard, but takes a walloping better. You know, like red oak is reasonably hard wood, but it splits easy because of the grain structure. So it would be good for this, but not good for that. So maybe that's what's up with dogwood. So we'll see about fire. That branch right now. I've got to go cut more oak today. My neighbor's got a big white oak he wants me to cut down. So I'll go do that in a little while. That's going to be for 25. No, fall 25. No, I don't know. I guess it depends on when I get it split and stacked. I got a bunch that still needs splitting that won't be for this winter. But oak is one of the more marketable hardwoods. I definitely have some people say, can I get all oak? Not that I have a really big firewood business. I can guiltlessly give people well-seasoned oak. Whereas if I give them that old hackberry, you know, nothing wrong with hackberry. This dogwood has all this really thick moss on it. It's dry. And it grows on it not because the tree itself is really wet, it just grows right above that nibbling zone for deer. They could probably reach it on some of this stuff, but with all the grass, it'd be kind of pretending to be a goat. Did you do your laundry? Did you make the card? The birthday card? All right. Had to get a chore check in there, sorry. This piece is really knotty and twisty. I'm going to default to the old plastic axe. Fertilizer. Apologize for my neighbor's dog. My neighbor is different neighbor than the cut the oak neighbor, but just a blatant idiot. I know I probably shouldn't say that about my fellow community member, but a couple of hours a day he turns his dog out and just lets it yap. Yep. And I gotta hear it. And so does the world. Well, the tens of you that watch these videos get to hear it. Lucky. So I don't understand people who can't figure out that kind of behavior is okay when you live around other people. I'm sure some of you be like, hey man, it's just freedom to do free things. It's not about that. It's about we kind of share the space, you know. And I mean, I definitely chop wood sometimes if it makes that chopping sound. But you know, we all have those little chores that we've got to do with the machines. hobbies that we have. So I guess I like the way wood chopping sounds, and I hate the way that yapping dog sounds. Doesn't mean that my way's the right way, right? I think it is. It wasn't built for just me. I've kind of got the grouchy old timer vibe today. The loud trucks, the loud dogs. I guess I should just be quiet and let the birds and the cicadas sing. Then you got to hear the dog. All right, I got a few more here to wrap up, but there's some dogwood. Thanks for watching.